Today on my channel, a review of the most underrated and possibly the best anime of last season, Nanana's Buried Treasure, a show with Indiana Jones-esque temple running, characters you love to hate, and magical items right out of Shaolin Showdown. What else? Oh right, a ghost girl who for some reason has great martial arts training and will fuck you up if you forget to get her pudding. Or try to get a feel. Nanana's Buried Treasure is an 11-episode action-adventure, supernatural, romance, comedy anime adapted from a light novel by Kazuma Otorino, while the anime series was written by Hideyuki Kurata, best known for his works on The World God Only Knows, and this show was animated by A1 Pictures, who I know have actually done something, such as The Greatest Show Ever Created, An Exorcist Who Is Blue, some yaoi fangirl shit, and Jesus Simulator 2012, and much more. For the plot of Nanana's Buried Treasure, we follow Juugo Yama, a high school student who has moved to Nanaejima, a special man-made island for high school students to achieve their dreams and aspirations. And from the first 10 minutes of the show, you would think it focuses around Juugo in a slice of life setting, trying to get some treasures, if you know what I mean. But if you watch up to episode 3, as this wonderful person stated here, you will see that the show is not like this at all. So Juugo moving into his new apartment, he meets Nanana, a ghost girl who is bound to Juugo's room after being killed 10 years ago. Nanana on this island is a non-living legend. She was the one with the vision to create the special student zone and was also a famous adventurer who discovered all of the special treasures from around the world which were lost after her death. These treasures are now referred to Nanana's Collection, with Juugo joining the adventure club ran by this prick and teaming up with a master detective Tensai. They go along their way looking for the items of Nanana's Collection, each with their own ulterior motives. Now you may be looking at the genres for the show and think, how the fuck did they pull all of this off? Well, this is one of the many great things about the show, that it blends its genres perfectly without abruptly stopping the plot progression or messing up with the flow of the episode. Unlike this absolute pile of. Another great thing this show does is something I like to call the Code Geass effect, by giving you a giant plot twist at the end of each episode, which is quite hard to stomach while watching it weekly. While the show had solid pacing and kept the flow of each episode nicely, there were just a few things I had gripes about. For one, this show could have easily been 24 episodes, considering we still have a few plot holes that really need to be filled. And secondly, there's still quite a lot of unanswered questions in this about Nanana, her murderer, Nanana's Collection, and our amazing main protagonist Juugo. But in the case of this show, the positives far outweigh the negatives by a long shot, so to sum it up, if only it was longer, we may have had a more conclusive ending with more questions being answered, and those are my only problems. The characters of Nanana's Buried Treasure are something quite unique in an anime, not for the reason that all of these characters are completely original with many layers of depth to them, but for the fact that these characters follow archetypes and are executed brilliantly, though each character pretty much has a vast array of personalities to suit each situation, whether it's comedy, action or drama, and not have it feel forced. So let's break these wonderful people down. Juugo Yama, our main protagonist and one sneaky bastard. Looking like a generic high school student, he is far from that. From the first few episodes we get hints towards why Juugo is no normal student, and that he is one badass idealistic son of a gun. Like I said, on the outside Juugo seems like a normal guy, but as we travel with him through the story we find out that he is very set in his ways, and is in the position he is in because of his ideals. While Juugo's main objective is to help Nanana move on, we are sometimes led to believe he has ulterior motives. With great physical training in both martial arts and body conditioning, he on times can be a total boss. With also development which was needed from him, he's all round a great character. Nanana Ryūgajō, the poster girl of the entire show. She's on the cover of the light novel, the first character in the opening, and she's even in the damn name. After being killed 10 years ago, Nanana is bound to room 202, where she has taken up the lifestyle of a NEET. While Nanana on the outside has a bubbly girly girl personality, we don't actually know how she feels on the inside, considering she is the most mysterious character in the show. She also, like Juugo, is quite set in her ideals, since she never gives out any hints towards how to get each treasure. All that we know about Nanana is that she loves pudding, has some training in some form of fighting, and was incredibly famous before her death. But Nanana is also used as an emotional cool down from the action and the drama in this show, so after a hard day of Juugo trying to find these treasures, he and Nanana have these great comedic interactions to transition between aspects of the show smoothly, and it's a shame she doesn't get enough screen time, but she is a really fun character. Tensai Ikkyu, the master detective and without a doubt the best character of the show. While everyone in this show does have their ulterior motives, Tensai is the only reliable character that we can actually trust. In episodes where the plot gets complicated and confusing on points, we look at Tensai to explain all of this shit. And she does. Like every single time. She's incredibly intelligent and, as her own self-proclaimed title states, she is a master detective. Though lacking in common sense, with a cocky but energetic personality, she's just a character you can't help but love. Her interactions with Juugo are a never enjoyable point of the show, but considering they hugged once, that is now confirmed that there is shipping for some reason. She's also one of my favourite characters of the year. Now onto some of the great side characters. Daruku Hoshino. Never mind. No. No. Ishin Yuga. Oh my god, I fucking hate this guy. Yu Ibara. Loyal to this asshole and a bitch to everyone else. Alright, this is not going so well. It probably would be easier to explain how these characters blend well with each other. We start with the Adventure Club, a club filled with adventure and the goal to find Nanana's collection. The episodes with all of the members together at once are probably the best in the series. These mostly contain the scenes with the action and drama, but can also switch to the comedy without messing up with the pace of the episode. This show does contain a few characters that I wouldn't usually enjoy, but because of the people around them, they start to develop into likable characters. Except for this guy. Fuck this guy. The cast in the show is also a perfect size. I don't think I've seen a show in quite a while where they have the perfect amount of characters, without the feeling of it being over or undercrowded. While most of these characters are shrouded in mystery, that's probably what gives this show such an authentic feel. The animation in this show was good. I'd love to say that it was groundbreaking and surprising, but it isn't. It's A1 Pictures being, well, A1 Pictures. Everything they do lately just looks really good. I'm a fan of the art style for the show, and also the animation in the fight scenes are fluent. And my god, the eyes of each character is just so goddamn detailed. But I have to give props to A1 Pictures for making the setting of Nanaejima come to life and give me that summer effect. To people who are unfamiliar with the term, the summer effect is a show, no matter what conditions outside, the anime just gives you the aura of summer and puts you into a good feeling mood. This describes Nanana's Berry Treasure perfectly. The sound of this show for the most part is nothing special. While the opening and ending grew on me, I found nothing during the episode itself was actually something that stands out. Well, besides the track that plays when introducing each ruin. It's epic. For the voice actors, I thought Tensai and Nanana's voices suited their characters perfectly to go with their personalities, but nothing really too stand out about anything else. For my final thoughts on the show, I really do think it is without a doubt the most underrated show this season, and I even think it's the best show this season, but keep in mind I haven't watched Ping Pong the animation, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. So I'll say I highly recommend this show to anyone who is a fan of an adventure anime, or just a fan of shows which have a multitude of genres in them. So calculating the scores for plot, characters, animation, sound and personal enjoyment, I rate Nanana's Berry Treasure an 8 out of 10. For shows not too similar but I recommend watching after Nanana's Berry Treasure, firstly The Melancholy of Haruki Suzumiya, one of my personal favourites in giving you that supernatural comedy feel. The next show I recommend is Dorarara, another show that I hold closely and another great example of a perfect sized cast, and a show with its characters being its strongest point. So I ask you, what did you think of the show, and what did you think of my review on it? Leave in the comments below. My name is The Average Anime Fan, and I'll see you all later.